Welcome to Post Game Podcast. And Foster, I'm not a happy camper.
You gotta laugh to keep from crying.
It's not funny, Foster. It's bad. Like I would have never imagined it being this bad. After watching the Lakers games last night, I had it took me a minute to unwind, and I just said, man, this is probably the worst team in franchise history. And it's not because of a lack of talent. There's talent there. But Foster, this hurts, bro. I'm genuinely hurt. Like, sports don't get to me. You lose a game, especially basketball. That's 82 games. Shouldn't have these kind of feelings this early in the season.
That's the biggest thing, because we had the worst team in the league last year, and it did not feel like this. It was just not this. It was just not the same.
It feels that much worse. And you know what's crazy? At this rate, we'll still get the number 8th pick in the draft next year.
To be real, it doesn't guarantee. At this point, my thing is this: even if it was the number 1 pick, we've had number 1 picks, we've had number 3 picks. We've like what is another draft pick really going to do for us? It's deeper. It's deeper than that.
The problem is one of the biggest problems is that we're very young, and so with that being said, with a draft pick, you're younger. So I don't know, man. I really don't have any answers. Even with injuries, you still gotta be better than what I've seen. Like 130 clips is just absurd. Lakers scored 130 points last night.
The Wizards scored a whole bunch of points.
The Wizards scored a bunch. Who was the team that ran it up at the end? They got 136.
Oh, the Pacers. Oh my God, I forgot about the Pacers game already.
Bro, there's my thing is this, right? And this is just because with my experience playing, if you don't do anything, if you can't do anything, you can defend. Like, you can preach defense and you can stress it in practice. You can do all that. You know, if you're turning the ball over and you can't score, one thing that you can teach people and work on and be better at is on the defensive end and rebounding, because that's all fundamentals and desire.
Yeah, just caring.
Effort and a pride in defense. And if we weren't getting it done on the offensive end, then we're going to go back to the basics and we're going to play some defense. Right? We're going to get steals. And then that usually gets your offense back to, kind of jump starts your offense. So, but I'm not seeing any defense. I'm not seeing it. I see it in spurts, and I know we have the ability to do so.
But I gotta send you the Twitter of this guy that breaks down defensive clips and just the basically mental errors that these guys are committing, and it's eye-opening how many just like sprinting back on defense help.
This is stuff that can be taught. This is correctable
Correct.
thing.
Yeah, like stuff that this is what you do every time based upon the film, and you need to change this tendency because it's putting you in. Because everybody's talented, everybody can run, everybody can jump. It's this at this point, it's about basic fundamentals and knowing the game of basketball because you got you would think you got a Killian out there, a Livers, a Sar Thompson, a Cade. Like we're not talking about traffic cones. We're talking about guys that are somewhat known to be to have some level of defensive prowess, and they are just getting beat on backdoor cuts and not seeing the watching the man but not watching the ball and like basic basic type stuff. And it like it comes down to like coaching and whether or not the team is buying into is buying into the to what's going on, or whether they've given up on the team already. Like we're talking about like mental, not physical ability, slow on their feet. We can't blame it on Joe Harris and Bogey. They're not playing.
No.
Those were supposed to be the defensive liabilities. Our best defensive players are healthy and active. They have been all year, outside of Livers for the first couple of weeks. But has the defense gotten better or worse since Livers? Did he play against Indiana?
Yeah, he played.
That was probably his first game, maybe around that time, maybe a little before that. But he played against Indiana. He played against the Wizards. He played against LA. We looked no better. And we got to play the Knicks tonight. The Knicks ain't in New York. That's crazy that they scheduled that back to back with us having to play the Lakers. Granted, this is all after the fact, but the Lakers just got popped by 40. There was no way they were going to come in there and drop an egg. That was so frustrating. From that bench got so deep in their bench. I'm like, who are these guys?
Man, they pulled somebody from a dude named Ned from the stands and said, "Here, play these last 7 minutes."
And I bet you he got busy.
He didn't even have on a yellow jersey. He had on a yellow T-shirt. Now that'll work. Just roll the sleeves up, tuck your shirt in. You'll be all right. Going out there.
Hey, they was on the bench like, cracking up. You know how they do they cover their mouth and
sick,
talk.
man.
They was talking all type of ish to them about them. Like
Tiger Town says, I think it comes down to one simple fact. We need more talent.
I mean, that sounds good, but we're not going to act. This is talent-wise, this is not a 2-15 team or 16 team. More talent it's really deeper than that. This is up top. This is up top. I'm convinced.
Okay, if we're talking talent, right? Let's say you just clear the record, and I tell you, you have Duran at center, Stewart, Sir Thompson, Ivy, Cade. Do you think 2-16 to start the season?
To be honest, no. But also, when I think about it, these are a bunch of guys that have never won anything in their life in the NBA. So I really can't say that. Stewart has never won. Duran has never won. Cade has never won. It's a bunch of guys that have never won anything. So that therein lies the problem, is that the winners haven't been playing. Bogey played for some great Utah Jazz teams. They never won any championships. They never won anything in the playoffs, but they got to the playoffs. Monte Morris played with Jokic in them. He didn't get a chance to win a championship, but he played on some pretty good Denver teams. Outside of that, it is a bunch of guys that just barely maybe won in college. Did Cade win anything in college? Did Stewart at Washington? I guess they didn't win in college, to be honest. Duran at Memphis, did they do anything? We've got a whole bunch of guys that don't know how to win. It just dawned on me. You got Killian, who played overseas. You got Asar Thompson that played at OTE. You know, I guess we do have a bunch of guys that never won nothing. Is that it? What it is?
I don't Foster, I'm out of answers, man.
Bagley never won anything in Sacramento. We do got a bunch of losers on the team.
Oh, Foster,
We
don't.
got a bunch of losers on the team. It just dawned on me.
The team is very young. The team
Yeah.
is very young.
They were young at the beginning of the year too. They were
But
they were just as young.
but the excuse of being young, you can only say it for so long, right? They have not gotten any better at turning the ball over. Say what
It's
you
gotten
want.
so much worse in every. And not to cut your wisdom, it's gotten to the point. Well, nah, because it got real. It got, at least at the end of the game, it got real sloppy. But I feel like what turned into just clean up the turnovers and we're good has spilled into everything getting worse. Like our defense was not that bad. We weren't talking about our defense at the beginning of the year.
Wait, Tiger Town says Ivy won at Purdue, right? He didn't win a championship, but
But he did. But he probably did win some. I forgot. It's
they're
I.
not all losers, Foster.
They're not all lose. And they in high school, we know they won in high school. All these guys were the man in high school. They were probably the best guys in their states in high school, right? And yeah, Ivy probably. But you know what? Ivy, the first 10 games of the year was almost pushed out. So I forgot about Ivy, and he's back, and the team has gotten worse. Can we agree the team has gotten worse since Ivy has started playing?
Oh man.
At the beginning of the year, when everybody was mad at them, like when we started losing, but we had won some games, people got mad. Like, why isn't Ivy playing? But since Ivy has popped into the fold, since Livers has popped back into the fold, we've gotten worse. We were not getting popped at the beginning of the year like this.
But I've seen instances where I'm happy Ivy's on the floor and he's making plays, and this is stuff that Killian's not doing.
Killian's not really playing now.
I mean, I still think with everything that's going on, if Ivy's not playing and Killian's playing, you still got the same thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I just find it ironic because everybody said that's it. That's the problem. You got Killian playing over Ivy, and we're getting beat worse now,
Well,
right? I don't remember again. I don't remember the Raptor game.
but
Um,
Foster, like, how many games have Ivy has been playing? Like about 6 or 7?
yeah, about a week's worth of
Okay,
maybe 6 or 7.
let's say 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about the other 10 games?
You talking about before he started was playing?
Yeah. It is
I think we were more. I honestly think, and I'm not coming to the conclusion that it's something that Ivy is doing wrong because this is a full body of work. But
this is a total group
yeah, but
dumpster
I
fire.
but I
Like,
feel like
everybody has torches in their hand. This is a dumpster fire, but this
yeah, gasoline it has is is on it, but I feel like we weren't getting popped like this early in the year.
yeah,
Like right now is the healthiest we've been all year, right?
pretty
Granted,
much.
I feel like Dern is not it can't be 100% healthy. He can't be. He has not
No,
been the same. I haven't even really seen him dunk the basketball
he dumped.
since
He
he's
dumped.
dunked.
He's dumped.
But he looked like a man amongst boys those first 4 games before he got hurt. Burks, I don't know the contusion. He can't hit the broadside of a barn right now. What happened?
I think was what we it's okay. There's 82 games in a season.
Mm-hmm.
You've lost 16 already. You're only going to play 41 by or about the midway point, All-Star break, this, that, and other.
Because that's after. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's longer than halfway. But yeah,
So yeah, so to lose 16 games so early makes it seem like every game from here on out really doesn't even matter.
yeah.
Like
And in the
we, 'cause
more,
me and you were talking playoffs, right? Or a play in to the playoffs, right?
Mhm.
At this pace, they liable to say nobody else gets a lottery pick but the Pistons. You get the first 8 picks, man. Because I wonder, Foster, I wonder if the commissioner calls the owners like, "Hey, man, what's how you doing, man? Just checking and see how you doing. You look pretty terrible out there. What's going on?" I mean, I don't know, man. I've just never seen any team that I ever liked being this bad. This is a first for me.
Yeah, nah, not
Wait, wait,
this.
wait, hold on. Let's the 0-16 was it the
It's
line?
kind of apples to oranges though,
But
because
we're talking 16 games in comparison to 82 games.
right, and 16 being the operative word because we're already at 16. So we have a lot more losses to experience in this season. So it's hard to compare. It's
It
hard to.
is, and then if you look at it from this point, um, you got about you're on pace not even to win 16 games the whole season.
Oh no, that no, because you can only, assuming the streak stops at some point, because we gotta assume once we break this streak, wherever it's at 20, 25 games, we got another nice streak ahead of us in the losing department. Uh, the probability only leads us to that. So
Mhm.
it wouldn't if we had started, if somebody had said, what's so bad is that it's the beginning of the year. Like this could have easily been a 16 game losing streak from like the midway point to the 3/4 point. But the fact that we pretty much set off the year like this is painful because we never had hope. The hope was gone probably like a week ago when it was like 10 losses in a row.
Yeah. Let me read this question by Tiger Town. Is Troy Weaver the problem? I mean, we deserve to get the number one pick in the 2023 draft. Lottery, Wimby could have transformed this team. I agree, but you know what? I'm glad Tiger Town mentioned this question because I had to think. Troy Weaver. Troy Weaver has traded for Bogey. Bogey is probably the highest paid person on the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hasn't played.
Which isn't his fault.
It isn't his fault, but we're just talking about transactions here.
Mhm.
He also traded for Monty Man Morris. Hasn't played. Uh, Traded for Joe Harris. Joe Harris is not cheap. He's not playing. And he's not doing anything remotely close to what we feel he could be doing out there. If you need a knockdown shooter out there, it's his time to shine. Like, why isn't he out there? Now let's go further back. There was a draft before Cade. We only had one pick. Uh, he picked Killian Hayes over Halliburton, right?
Well, we had 3 picks that year.
Well, we in the beginning of the draft,
Yeah, yeah,
we didn't
yeah, yeah.
have but one pick. Now Troy Weaver wheeled and dealed, and he got Stewart, and uh he got
Yeah, see.
Stewart and Bay,
Yeah.
Sadiq Bay, right? Killian Hayes, bust. Saying it now, Killian Hayes,
Yeah, we
bust.
don't have to do the ifs anymore. It is what it is.
Could have had Halliburton.
Yeah.
but you chose Hayes. Okay. You traded Sadiq Bey away. You got Stewart. Now, if you're looking at it, you did draft Cade. You did draft Cade, but it's starting to look like Troy done made some bad moves here.
Yeah, he definitely has made some bad moves. He's made some decent ones. Like the Bagley one was a solid deal. What was I gonna say? The Joe Harris one, I will say the only reason why I fought him for that one is because A, he cleared some cap space. Now, granted, Joe Harris um is on an expiring deal, and he could have been a good. He could still be a good knockdown guy for us later on in the year. But the fact that he cleared the Brooklyn Nets space so that they could sign Cam Johnson, and then you cleared it for a guy that hasn't played for us and has had injury issues in the past, you look bad there. Because essentially you helped Brooklyn and you did nothing for yourself. And then you went and got Monty Morris, who has yet to touch the court. The bogey deal ended up being a nice deal. He just never got to play with Cade and still hasn't had a chance to play with Cade. Hopefully he plays tonight. If not tonight, it'll definitely be against Cleveland. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bogey is on the way back. I guess I'll just say it'll be nice to see him play, even though we have no chance of. We're so far out of the play-in contention. I would assume I don't even look at the standings anymore because it's just embarrassing to watch us at the bottom. And I'm sure we're not far behind the Wizards, or I don't know, maybe the Hornets or something like that. But
we're far behind the Wizards. They just handed us one.
Well, yeah, but they only have 3 wins and we have 2, right?
I don't care. They look that much better than we did.
They do look a lot better than us. But yeah, so yeah, Weaver has definitely made some mistakes. The Killian thing, I'm kind of past that. Make up for that in other ways, because a lot of people passed on Halliburton. To be honest, we passed up on Tyrese Maxey and Halliburton. But yeah, but since then,
hold
yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Golly, this is sick, man. Gosh. Yeah, Foss, this is bad, man. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt your thought. I had to get to a break.
Yeah, no. Outside of that, dang, what else was I going to say? Even the Stewart deal, we went and paid Stewart. Some people are going to look at that as that. As much as we needed as much as we now need a starting power forward who can. He's just not a starting power forward. He's a backup center. That's just the reality. And I was one of the hardest. I was campaigning tough for Stu to be like, well, he's gonna be able to shoot this year. I believe he's gonna be able to shoot, and he's gonna set the tone with toughness and yada yada yada. But
hold on, but before we read that question, though, but Foster is. What the problem with Stewart is, you paid him all that money, and now even if you wanted to move him, you're not going to be able to move him. That's the problem. He has a high price tag. If you wanted to say, okay, let me get rid of him and get some draft stock or a couple of players, you don't have that luxury because you've given this man a bunch of money, and he hasn't shown to be a starter here. He's not going to pay him that much to get him off the bench nowhere else.
At his original price tag, I know I can't say for a fact, but there was a lot of talks of people reaching out for him, which to me was like, I feel like that's the reason why we paid him, is because there was a lot of people calling their phone about him. But at that current price, nah, I can't see it.
Yeah. Gonna read this question by Tiger Town, and I really appreciate you for being here, Tiger Town, and asking questions. We love that from our viewers. Tiger Tiger Town asks, is Evan Mobley playing better than Cade Cunningham? I think you have to consider the fit. He's a great fit in Cleveland. They were very they were guard oriented there, and they were in need of a big man, and uh, to complement the other guy that they had, they needed a power forward. He was right there for the taking.
Perfect. It was the fit is seamless with
Yeah.
what they got going
So
on.
it worked out. It's not a matter of him playing better. It's just he went there and they don't have to depend on him. You got Garland there, and then they got Spider-Man, and you know what I'm saying? Uh Levert, they have so many pieces there already. So
They went and
he
got Struce. They went and got
yeah,
Niang too.
yeah. So
Like the team is put.
there's so many pieces there that they don't have to solely depend on him, and he's just playing his role. And he's a skilled big man. So when he gets the ball, uh, he's probably not in the lane with a bunch of people because they're guarding their guards. You can't leave the Cleveland guards open; they'll knock them down, and they've been like that. So the difference is with Cade, he's thrusted into a position where he's thrusted on a team where he has to lead. Mobley didn't have to do that. And I don't think Cade is ready to lead right now. I just don't. I've seen enough uh, for him to be the primary ball handler. Pause. But for him to be in that role, he turns the ball over way too much. Uh, I've seen. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or a fatigue thing, but every now and then he'll shoot a jump shot from 3-point land, and it looks like he has no business on the court.
I think it's but and this is one thing I've been listening to other people. I was listening to a spaces about it, and Cade is one of the few guys out of that early that have been drafted early that hasn't been surrounded by the skill. Like the best player that he's played with, I think, is Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant. We can't really say bogey because they literally have played maybe 2 games together. Who else? Somebody said Corey Joseph. They were talking about as far as shooters are concerned, the people that were surrounded by him: Corey Joseph, Jeremy Grant. But outside of that, like we said, Evan Mobley is surrounded by great players. He played with Colin Sexton,
Yeah.
um, Scotty Barnes, Siakam. Siakam is a top 10, 15 guy. Even Green, what's his name? Not Gerald Green. What's his name? Something Green on the Rockies.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
I always want to call him Gerald Green, but
It's not.
he's now playing with Van Vliet, Dylan
Yeah.
Brooks, and
Is it Jalen Green?
Jalen Green. Yes. Similar to Gerald, but yeah, even the Rockets are. Hate to say it, but the Rockets are all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they have, as much as it's evident that Cade is not everything that we want him to be yet. I think we've definitely done him a disservice putting him around Killian Hayes. And Stewart is just not enough. Duran is getting there, but he's just turned 20 years old. Yeah, I just don't think that I think they've done a disservice to him. Some of it has been bad luck, though. That's outside of the fact that he got hurt last year. It's just been bad luck that he hasn't been able to have a Monte Morris that could alleviate some of the stress off of handling the ball, or a guy like Bogey that could have alleviated some of that stress. So it's a combination of two things, but one thing's for certain: something has got to shake, and we cannot see this losing streak go to 20, 25, 30. Like It sounds crazy, but we're not even getting close anymore. We were playing close games with the Blazers and Sixers and Bucks. These were close games.
Yeah.
That's just to name a few. Early, the Miami Heat. These were close. These were all close games. These were games that we kind of had in our hands early on. So this is a lot. This is heavy. This is heavy. I feel as bad as it sounds, I feel like it has gotten to the point that it is affecting like my mood. Like, we laugh and say, "Oh man, this is really ruining my day," but it wasn't supposed to be this bad, man. It just wasn't.
It's horrible, Foster. It's horrible. I mean, we can talk about it and keep talking about it. I'm the type of person that we talk like in real life. I don't like to talk about issues too many times.
Yeah.
I like to talk about the issue and then I start talking solutions. I don't have any solutions for this team.
I mean, I have a idea in my mind of something, and then when I say solutions, I'm talking more of a long-term fit than the short term. Because I feel like this year's cooked. Play in, playoffs, this year is cooked. But if they have any hopes of putting anybody in these seats for the last for the rest of the season, or convincing anybody, because we're gonna have money when it's all said and done. We're gonna have a lot of money in the next couple of years, because we don't have any outside of the Stewart contract. We don't have anybody over 2 years. We got Harris coming off the books, Burks coming up. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Tiger
Definitely.
Town says, "Here's a solution. Watch the Red Wings instead."
Yeah, we just got Kane. We just got Kane from Chicago.
Um,
Well, from New York, but he was.
I don't know if that will be enough to erase the pain that we're going through right now.
It's at least they play in LCA. At least it can be said that they play. There'll be some winning going on in that stadium, because it won't be.
Well, the Lions are winning, and we're still feeling bad. The Red Wings ain't going to erase this, man.
That's because I mean,
It's
yeah.
okay. I have no problem with not having a winning record. I don't have a problem with losing some games, but a 15-game losing streak this early pains me. And then you're playing the Knicks tonight, and who over the last couple of years they've had no success versus the Knicks the last 2 years, like none.
Yeah.
And it seemed like for a minute that was one of the teams that just easily beat them every year. I mean, every game. And it's just like, I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the game. I'm gonna watch it, but there's gonna be a time. It's a short leash. It's a short leash.
Or at least
I'm gonna
if
change
it
the
gets
channel.
spooky early.
I'm gonna change the channel if I see some crap. It's gonna be like, okay, it's time to go. I take
I
what
actually watched that whole Lakers game.
I couldn't. I couldn't. They was down 18 at one point, and I said, "Yeah, let me."
D'Angelo Russell did us dirt. Like, he is not even like, I think he's like a third or fourth option on that team. 35, easy. He was lighting livers up. Oh my God.
He has the ability to do well, though. So I already know he's a heck of a ball handler, and he can get his shot whenever he wants, and he's a nice shooter. So he has a great shot. So it's just, why can't we have a D'Angelo Russell, man? And that's crazy that we're asking for somebody like D'Angelo Russell, man. Like,
Yeah, we don't have anybody as he's not even like an all-star. He's not
no,
even an all-star type guy.
we're sitting here saying, why can't we have a D'Angelo Russell? And he's like the fourth option on his team. This is bad. This is bad. Help is on the way, though. I'm hearing Bogey will play Saturday. That's what I'm hearing. Um, there's been Monty Morris sighting. So
He's been around. He's,
I don't know, man. I don't
it's
know.
just been a weird and cryptic year. He's putting up cap emojis saying that he's not as, and he looks healthy to me. The Ivy situation has come and gone. We're kind of past that at this point. People are still blaming, oh, you've killed his confidence. So even though he's playing, he's not as sure as he used to be. He's worried about making mistakes.
Man,
Like,
no, these are professional. This ain't college, man. When you get your chance, if you because Ivy knows in his mind he's that guy. So no matter if you benched him before, when you give him an opportunity to play, we all know there's things like trades, there's things like free agency, there's things that if you're not appreciated on a team and you have an agent and all that other stuff, you can play somewhere else. So you're not going to just, I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to get in there and to do his thing. I don't have any doubt that his confidence is not where it needs to be.
I'll be honest, there's three untouchable guys on this team, and anybody else that's playing is
Man,
possible.
I beg to differ, but I'd like to hear your take on that.
There's everybody else is playing for an opportunity to possibly be campaigning to end up in a monster trade, because that's at this point that's the only thing that can salvage this team is if we put together, if we bring another star here that could attract people in the off season. Because if I'm a free agent, you're going to have to pay me so much more. It's bad enough Detroit is already a place that nobody wants to come. But the fact that we're so bad, that even adds on to another reason why I shouldn't sign here, even if it is for an extra 5-10 million. But if your name isn't Asar Thompson, Cade Cunningham, or Jalen Durant, you are not off the table as a because Jaden Ivey right now he's playing okay, like 15, 16 points a game, shooting on a his trade stock is high enough to where we could get somebody with him still. It's high enough, for that, but low enough to where he's not untouchable, and where the Pistons are not like, oh, we can't trade Jaden Ivey. He's tradable because at some point you draft year after year. You love all these players, but you say something's missing. We need we need somebody here that is proven to have done something on this level, because that's the reason why Sadiq Bey left. Because after a while, after 4 draft classes, something's got to give.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But for me, and this is
Mm-hmm.
just it's probably a very, very unpopular opinion. I don't think anybody's untouchable. I think if the price is right, you
Even
make.
Durant. Oh, you said not even 3. Oh,
I don't
okay.
think. I don't think anybody's untouchable. I mean,
8.
if the price is right, hang
I
up your
think we
vote.
could get a lot. We could get a lot for Gabe. I just off of potential and people looking at it like he's
Let,
struggling here, but we could surround him. Like if he went to like the Magic, oh my God,
let's say, for instance, you were like, okay,
the Bulls,
you ship him to New Orleans, and you get back somebody like
Ingram.
you get Ingram and a draft pick. I'll take that.
Ingram's like 30 though. Not 30. He's not quite 30, but oh, I think no. See,
You listen, but see, you said untouchable, but you're going to listen to that offer. And you're going to think about it.
it
He's not
had to,
untouchable if you have to think about it.
he'd have to be younger than Ingram, I think.
Okay, let's say for instance, you ship him to Portland and you get what's
Ingram is 26, by the way.
that's okay. So let's say you ship him to Portland
Okay.
and you have a chance at what's the little point guard name?
You know how bad
Not
Scoot is
Scoot,
playing right
not
now?
Scoot. I ain't talking about
Oh,
Scoot.
Simons.
Simon. Let's say Simon's on the table.
To be your number one option?
But I'm just saying, Simon and a draft pick. If Cade is not if Cade is untouchable, you don't even think about
I guess it depends on if we think that K is the problem. Because
it.
I
It's
think
not
in the
about
grand
Cade being the problem. Because I'm not saying he's the problem. I said the team's a problem.
right.
So if you can improve your team by trading Cade, then why not?
Because if Cade is the centerpiece, you don't eliminate the centerpiece.
Is he the centerpiece?
I think he is more so than Brandon Ingram or like a Simons who
Should
has.
he be the centerpiece? Is the question.
I think that with the right people around him, he will be better though. If you
And
look at if you
and
look at the film and the way they key in on him, they key on him the way they key in on Hutch, where it's like we're gonna blitz Cade at all costs and pray that you pass it out to Killian Hayes or Stewart.
but I got an even better question. Like as far as Cade being the centerpiece, like
Mhm.
he probably is the centerpiece, but would he be the centerpiece if you had a different player?
Like who though?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, could you
Yeah,
trade
I'm
Cade for someone that can be? Is there someone out there that's an ideal centerpiece that you could trade Cade to get?
not for Cade. Not I wouldn't. I would say Ivy. I would say Dern. Well, I would say guys like that. But to trade away a Cade, there would have to be a haul brought back, and also will be difficult because Cade isn't making as much as even a
We're
Ingram.
not. We're not. We're not being
We're,
technical.
we're, we're deep down the wormhole,
We
but
know we
yeah,
can't move Cade. I'm just saying, like for me, right? Um, I think you entertain any offer. Nobody's untouchable. I do not want to trade Cade by any means. However, I'll listen to offers. I mean, if you throw me a blockbuster trade, you want Cade that bad, and
it would have to be
I can,
crazy. It
huh?
would have to be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
can't. Like I would entertain it if it's that good. You're not going to give me one player straight up for him. No.
No.
I
Unless
don't
it's
care.
like a SGA or which would never happen. It would have to be a top
Come on,
notch
man.
guy
We know it's
because
not.
draft picks at this point don't sweeten the deal
No,
for
no,
me
no, no,
for
no,
a
no, no,
K.
no, no, no. I'm just saying, like, it would have to be. It would have to be more than one person. Like, it would have to be because Cade is predominantly young,
Yeah.
21, 22, right? Maybe 23. So,
Yeah, 22, I think. Yeah.
so you would have. It would have to be someone around that age, and like I said, it would have to be someone like a SGA or Maxi, something like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Which they're not. Yeah.
But do
And
you, but also
I think
consider.
financially, I think what the trickiest part is the money because he's still
Oh,
on his rookie deal.
we're
That's the
not
biggest
talking
thing.
about money. We're just,
Well,
we're
that's
not.
what makes it realistic or unrealistic too, though.
But I'm
That's what
just
takes
saying,
certain players off the table.
if you put all of that into play, like some of these players will never get traded. I'm just saying, like as far as
Right.
a personnel fit, right? We
Yeah.
know it's not going to happen. To be honest, we know they're not trading Cade, but
Yeah.
we're just
Not
saying
K.
from a personnel standpoint, you also have to consider this. I mentioned Maxi, right?
Yeah.
I think Maxi doesn't do as good here as he's doing in Philly.
Ex- for sure. For sure. Yeah. No doubt about it. No
Now,
doubt about
do you think Cade would do just as good as Maxi in Philly?
it. Ooh. I'd love to see it.
It's
I'd
the
love to see
surroundings, bro, and like I said,
it.
I never
Yeah,
pointed the finger at K I'm just saying there's
yeah,
no I'm listening to all offers. I'm not saying I'm pulling the trigger,
yeah,
but
we
I'm saying
listening.
I'm listening to all offers. So hold on for a second, Foster. We're gonna get back to this. This is where we need to be right here. So you have to at least listen to the offers.
Yeah, because Weaver's job, mm, there's no. I'm thinking this. If he doesn't like, you know how not SGA, Stan Van Gundy made a deal on his way out the door to get Blake Griffin and kind of whatever, kind of mortgaged our future for a while because he traded. Who did he trade?
I know, Foster. I know.
But I feel like that type of trade. I feel like that type of trade at this point has to happen. I feel like that has to happen. We can't end the season. Obviously we'll end with more than 2 wins. Not many more, but we'll end it with more than 2 wins. But there has to be some level of optimism going into next year. Like something has to happen, and it's not going to be a Monty Williams. There's no way Gores just flushes 80 million down the toilet and finds a new coach. There's just no way that's going to happen. If you feel that you messed up on that, you're going to have to at least deal with it for the next year and a half.
Well, let me say this, right? Because the scapegoat is going to be on the coach, and
Okay.
you can't even consider changing coaches right now.
No, no.
It's not fair. He's 18 games in. Like 18, 19 games in. No. You don't do that. You just that's just not the move. It's not the
Won't
move.
do it. Just won't do anything.
Yeah, it won't do anything. You'll be starting all over. But I do think um you definitely need to give him a couple more years. If you start off the season next year 2-18, and then
Which is
it
so
doesn't go,
far away. So like we really
then
have to stomach the rest of the year and think about the next season. And this one just started. We're not even a quarter. John Morant hasn't even got off his suspension yet. And we're already talking about like if he starts the year next year, like, painful. It's pain.
yeah, I don't even want to think about next year like that. But
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just too soon. That's like saying, well, next year the Lions, like, no, we got a whole year ahead of us. God bless the fact that we have something to talk about as far as playoffs by the Lions, because
this is bad.
I'm just so equally mad at everybody, like from the play. Like I feel bad for the players, but at the same time, I feel like they're doing this to me. Like, why are you putting me through this?
Foster, you see my background. It's Pistons blue and red.
Yes.
I want to change it.
Hey, you know what's gonna make it worse for you? There is a picture. You probably can't. Can you see this? Yes, you can see this.
Yeah.
This is at LCA, so you know it's not that old. This is at LCA, and this is what we were dealing with 20 games into the year, not too long ago. This is like Reggie Jackson, Kennard. I think it was around Drummond. I think was around Thon Maker. We thought that roster was a joke. We thought that roster was a joke. Can you imagine if we were 14-6? Oh my god! Oh my god!
Man, this is
And we had the nerve to talk down on that team. Shame on us. I didn't. I thought that team was, because you know what? after a while, I was okay with mediocre because the roster was pretty mediocre. It wasn't crazy. I think Avery Bradley was on that team. He wasn't great, but he played defense.
Yeah.
We don't have no dogs on this team.
No.
People used to hate Stan Van Gundy, but that team won games. Blake Griffin went to the playoff. We got popped in the first round by the Cavs, but we went. And then we got popped in the first by the Bucks. That's what everybody was mad about.
Foster, what we're not going to do, we're not going to talk about losing to the Cleveland or Milwaukee on this show.
Hey,
those are two cities. Those are two cities. You see Coogee been taking stuff, man.
You see, I've been ignoring it.
I ain't answered the thing. I hide it on my timeline. I don't comment. No.
That don't get shared. Shared.
No, nobody on my timeline to see it. Not saying the word. No. Nope. Yeah, Cleveland is, man. I remember I had some buddies of mine that were Cleveland fans, and they were upset because they couldn't get Cade, and now they're laughing.
It ain't okay though.
It ain't okay, but Mobley's just such a good fit with the team they have.
Perfect.
It's like he's they're enjoying it. Like they were really, really like, how come we can't? I'm like, all those first round picks y'all got, can we get one? You know what I'm saying? So, are you gonna watch the game tonight?
I'm gonna check it out. There's a Thursday night football game on. Who's playing? Is the Cowboys game? Is that this week or is
Seattle, Dallas? That's
gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good game. Two teams that we could really see later on too. Well, we already know we're gonna see Dallas later on. Seattle, we already saw. We could, God forbid, see them later on in the playoffs. But I'm watching that game. That game gonna be worth watching because some of these Thursday night games be so trash. You get the Jets and the Bears or something weird like that. Like, who want to see that? The Panthers, Cowboys, and Seahawks. That sounds like Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, they schedule these games and they don't know. They have a feeling
because everybody gets one, right? Everybody gets at least one Thursday night game. I think.
I don't know, but I think they,
or at least one prime time between Monday night, Sunday night.
I think they schedule the Thursday night games due to their predictions of the matchups. Like, if they think there's two good teams, think there's going to be two good teams, they'll schedule it for Thursday night. But you never know. Like, they could be projected as a good team and be trash, like the Pistons.
You caught me off guard with that one.
I know it. It was intentional. It was intentional.
You didn't lie though.
I wasn't lying, but I shouldn't say that on this show because we support the Pistons. We are Pistons fans. This is post game.
That's why it hurts so much. It's like when somebody that you care about,
if we didn't
does something wrong to you, it hits harder.
Me and Foster are not under. We're kind of under contract, but we don't have to do it.
Yeah, don't.
We don't have to
too soon.
Like, we don't have to. We're doing this because we enjoy it. So if we really, really didn't want to do the show, we wouldn't do it. So
we do this for y'all. This is therapeutic. I know there are thousands of people that feel the way we feel. So this is for y'all.
This is for y'all, man.
This is for us too. It's therapeutic to us to get this off our chest. But we want to let you know that you're there, that you are being heard, and we feel what you feel. That's all.
Yeah. It's not always going to be like this. At some point, we're going to have that proud moment. I don't know when it's going to happen. It may not happen this year, and it's a lot of basketball to be played. But one of these
Don't
days,
make me cuss in here. Don't make me cuss in here.
I'm just saying, one of these days we're gonna
Detroit basketball.
and be proud of it. But
If we win tonight,
you know what, Foss man? You know what bothers me about tonight is I would have bet money that we beat one. And the way we lost,
yeah, yeah, it's just,
I have zero confidence.
yeah. No, there's no at this point. Anybody, there's not a game left on this in the entire year that I can say, "Oh, we got it, we got it, we got this." There's not a game left for the entire year if we can't beat the Wizards because we are that other team. We are that team that is the guaranteed win. Unless we played an intra-squad red versus blue game, then. But other than that, there's no who can we say? I feel bad for the team. I feel bad for the Bulls and the Hornets. How dare y'all lose to us? Did we beat the Bulls the first time?
The only teams we won.
And Levine dropped 50 on or 40 on us, something crazy like
it was
that.
50.
50.
He's
that
looking
should have been our clue. That should have been our clue right there.
Do you trade Levine for Cade? He wants out.
Nah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would do anything to simply bring Levine in. No. First of all, if you watch him play now, he has nothing, just nothing there. So if he came to Detroit, he probably, I can't even say on air what he would do if that trade went through.
So what if you put together Ivy? Let's say you say Ivy, not Cade.
Yeah, anybody but that. Yeah.
Okay, let's say you say Ivy,
Bogey, maybe
Bogey, and someone else. Let's say Ivy.
And it's because and the main reason is because Levine is under contract for an X amount of years, which means he's not a rental. We would have him under our control for at least the next couple of years because he just re-signed a contract.
Here you go with this technical jargon.
I mean, that's what makes it realistic. Like I could say LeBron for Cade, but the money don't match. It don't make no sense.
What's unrealistic is this 15-game losing streak, Foster.
Oh, that's real.
We're past the realm of realistic. That's not real. Ideal.
We're staring that in the face. We were the worst team last year.
Wrong. Yeah. It's wrong. We don't deserve this.
I don't, but the players.
I do.
No, I'm saying everybody within the Pistons, from the coaches to the owner, the players combined, they deserve that because that's them. That's them. I can't. All I can do is waste my hard-earned dollars to be another person cheering for them in the stand. Other than that, I have no control over what they do. Only they can do that.
This sucks, Foster. There's no other way to sugarcoat it.
Go Lions. Go Red. Let's go Red Wings. Tigers is on the way. That's all I can really. The Pistons is the laughing stock of the league at this point. They just laugh. And you see Bleacher Report posts. I've never seen Bleacher Report posts with the Pistons in it. You don't even see that, but we're so bad that they gotta mention it.
Foster, they're so horrible. They win tonight. I'm doing a show tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. That's honestly the way I feel.
With or without you, I will be on here talking.
We might mess around with it.
No, Foster, you ain't getting my hopes up. Say what you got to say so we can get out of here, bro. No,
hey,
I'm not. I rebuke you and your optimism. That's not going to happen. So
it would just be that sick, though. It would be that sick. But parting words is I've said enough about that team that we're covering. Go Lions, let's go Red Wings, Tigers. Keep an eye on them come spring.
Okay. Before I get out of here, though, please, we thank you for watching on Motor City Metrics YouTube. If you like to listen to our podcast, you can check us out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Pod, any other streaming sites. Type in Post Game Podcast FFSN. You may not be able to find us at just Post Game Podcast. There's quite a few out there, but if you put in Post Game Podcast FFSN, we are the only Pistons podcast on the FFSN network. And if you tap in with a lot of FFSN has a lot of content with different teams. You can check those out as well. All you got to do is type in FFSN, but check us out there and download the episodes. You can always erase them later, but download the episodes. We thank you for participating. What was my guy's name? I've never seen him before.
Tiger Town, right?
Tiger Town. A special shout out to you for your participation and your questions, and we appreciate you for tapping in with us. Foster, before I click the out button, you have any more parting words?
About to be the Knicks tonight, baby.
Detroit Pistons.
It's up.